I'm going to make some jalapeno hush puppies. A little bit different than the norm. That's because that's the way I like to do it. The easiest thing to do when you're making something with a lot of items like this, especially when it comes to mixing flour and egg, is to lay everything out. As you see, I'm using yellow cornmeal, and I'm using corn flour, and I'm using semolina flour instead of regular white flour. Then I have salt, sugar, baking powder, a little baking soda, and some jalapeno pepper. And when you're working with this, they say you should use gloves, because if you don't really wash your hands off well and you touch your eyes, it might burn. And then some buttermilk and an egg, and that's it. So we're going to go, and scallions, or in other parts of the country, green onion. And then we'll go about putting this together, and then we're going to deep fry these little babies. Into the bowl, I'm going to put all the dry ingredients first. Then I'm going to take my whip and blend it. And then we'll add the egg and the okay, so now everything dry is evenly incorporated. Then I'll beat up the egg and add the egg in the, and we can put the scallions in now also, and the jalapenos. I don't have to mix this. I'll wait for the liquid to come. So the egg is beaten, and I'm going to add almost all the buttermilk to the egg. I'm just saving a little bit, a quarter of a cup, which will probably go in there. But first I want to make sure the mix is going to be the right consistency. Now we'll just pour this in here. And take a spoon and mix it up. I added the remainder of the buttermilk. Look at the consistency. Nice. Not too stiff. So there's two ways of doing this. Either using a scoop, a little baby ice cream scoop, or taking 2 spoons. They don't have to be round, they can be oblong. So we're going to make a couple of each. So we want to get up to about 375. I'm up there already, and now I got to lower it because I'm going to talk for a minute. So when you make it, don't just go right ahead and start just throwing everything in there. Even me, like this is the first time I'm making this recipe. So what do? I'm pretty sure it's going to work out fine because I'm used to doing it. So what I did was I put the small teaspoons like this and just slide it in. Now I'm going to wait. I'm going to cook this one. I'm going to taste it. If I think it's okay, I won't make any more adjustments on the recipe. If not, I might add 1 or 2 more things in there. Otherwise, this is it. And then, so that's the spoon method. And if you're a little bit nervous about using the spoon, that you'll splatter yourself. So this little baby ice cream scoop, this holds exactly 1 tablespoon, which is perfect for this. So what I would do is I'm going to dip this in there. That way when I scoop up the mix, it'll just come out so easily, instead of having to jerk it in there and splatter all over the place. See, now there's only 1 in there, and the temperature is still rising, so I lowered it a lot. So and have yourself a thermometer to try and keep the temperature close to what it's supposed to be, because things fry better that way. If the grease is too cold, you might come out with a greasy product. If the temperature is just right, I don't even put my items on a towel when I'm done, because when I take them out at the right temperature, they're not dripping of grease, and they're well, one thing I like the weight of this. It only takes a few minutes to fry, and it's over 400 degrees, which is not good, but this is the test. And once I put about 6 or 7 in there, you know the temperature is going to drop a little, so you just have to maintain about 375, 370. So I'm going to take this out right now, because that little thing in there has spent enough time. And then I'm going to open it, take a look at it. Just let me get a plate. So we have this one here ready. So you open it up. Make sure it's not raw inside. So you look at it. It's fluffy, it's not sticky. And if the temperature was a little lower, it'd be a little better. And as far as the taste, if it wasn't hot enough, I would add some more jalapeno. And I'm getting, usually it takes a little time for that hot stuff to get down your throat. So, everything else is good, the texture's good. And I'm glad that I used the flour that I wanted to use, because it makes it a little different. I'm just going to increase the jalapeno, because I don't feel the heat, and I'm going to start. And you can always form them with your hand, so you can make them like a football, like so, and then just drop them in. And the only reason why I'm going to use the scoop, because I want everyone to be the same size. So I just dip it in oil. Easier, faster, and less dangerous. But that's all I'm going to put in there, because the first one is already cooking, and the flame is so low, but it retains the heat, because if you put a good amount of oil in there, you don't lose that much heat. See, now we're down to about 350. No, 375. This is good. So I'm going to leave it like that. And I like them round. That's how you usually see them when you have them with that delicious piece of fried catfish, Norland style, or a nice seafood platter. You get these hush puppies on there. I try to make this recipe close to the way they make it in New Orleans, except they don't use durum flour, so you could use regular flour. They don't use what I put in there, the corn flour. They use all cornmeal. Some use white cornmeal, some use yellow. The reason why I like the yellow, I like the color on the inside. I don't like that pale looking color. So this is no stoppage of the video, because we want to get this timing down. You'll see how long it takes. Now the temperature is about 350. Cooking nice and easy. The item like this, you have to make sure you're cooked inside also. They're pretty. Look at that. And you know what? They're light. Now I'm going to guess when they're done. We're going to take one out. I'm going to cut it in half immediately. And now I'm going to raise the flame just a little, because we dropped below 350, and that's not what we want. So raise it high, let it come back up again. usually do with these hush puppies? Well, that's what you do with them. You usually serve them with fried food. Now, how many are you going to make? Well, that's 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I would say an easy 16 from this recipe. And the only reason why I'm not making any more, because I have another grand idea what to do with the rest of this for another video. So, let's take one of them that went in there first. You see what I mean by not being greasy? There's just a little bit grease on that plate, and that's from the spoon. And we take the hush puppy that almost went on the floor. So this has a little adjustment in the, no, it needs a little bit more, but the taste is very nice. I'm getting the heat from the jalapeno pepper, and I did put another drop of salt in there, which brings up the overall flavor of this. Very good. So, all is done. And they're nice and light. Look how nice those go on a plate with the fried food. Leave that one in there for another second. That must have been the last one. Okay, there you go. New Orleans style hush puppies. Oh, maybe you want to know what I cooked it in? Just a plain old Crisco vegetable oil. Use your favorite oil, it doesn't matter. But don't waste olive oil.